This is a WWE Knuckle Crunchers diorama that features Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and a handful of other wrestlers from the WWE universe. Today I'm going to show you how I customized this ring, modified some of the action figures, and put together this entire backdrop. I'll also use my camera to capture some photos of the action. So without further ado, let's get started. I got the idea for this project about 2 weeks ago when I was playing a video game called WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Now this game is a few years old, but I found a copy of it on sale recently and wanted to try it out. It didn't end up being the greatest wrestling game out there, but it was still fun to play, and one of the things that I liked about it was the design and style of the characters. They had this unique cartoonish look that kind of reminded me of the old Hasbro WWF figures that came out in the 90s. It made me wonder if there was a modern line of action figures that had a similar animated look. So I did a bit of research online and I came across these WWE Knuckle Crunchers. They had a somewhat similar look to the video game characters, and I thought it might be fun to make a diorama project with them. So I went to my local department store, headed straight to the toy aisle, and picked up this Knuckle Crunchers ring along with an assortment of various wrestlers, including Stone Cold Steve Austin, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and of course, The Rock. I love the way these figures look, and the wrestling ring is pretty fun too. It has a springboard-like mat that allows you to easily bounce your characters all over the place. The ropes are also elastic, making it possible to pull off some high-flying maneuvers. Now for this particular project, I felt like changing the theme of the ring from Raw to SmackDown, and to do this, I needed to first take the ring apart. Underneath there were some screws, which I removed, and that allowed me to pull off the bottom part of the frame and take out the stretchy canvas material. That just left me with the top part of the ring. After spray painting it black and letting it sit for a while to dry, I was able to reattach the canvas and plug in the ring posts and the ropes. Next, it was time to add some SmackDown graphics onto the ring skirt, so I designed an image in Photoshop and printed it out onto sticker paper. I stuck a piece onto each side of the ring, and as a final touch, I also put some WWE logos on the turnbuckle covers. Now we've got a cool looking SmackDown themed ring. But I also wanted to make a few customizations to these action figures, beginning with Roman Reigns. I started by heating up the figure with a hairdryer, which made it easier to remove his head. I wanted to bend his limbs into a slightly different pose than they were already in, so I had to cut off a few pieces and reattach them using some epoxy putty to fill in the little gaps. I did a bit of sculpting to smoothen things out, and then I left the putty to air dry. After several hours, it was ready to be painted. I started with a layer of white primer and then began painting his skin. I had to mix a few different shades together to try to match the skin tone of his head. Next, I needed to add Roman's tattoos. I found a tattoo template image online and printed it out onto water slide decal paper. I then trimmed the decal into a few pieces, dipped each piece in water, and then applied them onto the figure one by one. And now, after putting the head back on, we've got a custom Roman Reigns Knuckle Cruncher. Here we can see the figure before and after. I also made a similar customization to the Rock figure, giving him a modern look with all of his tattoos. So we've got the custom figures, we've got the ring, now we need to print out a crowd and backdrop for the scene. To get the images that I needed to print, I loaded up WWE 2K24 on my PlayStation and started playing a match in the SmackDown arena. I paused the game and went into the highlight reel mode and began taking screenshots of the crowd. I brought all of those images into Photoshop and stitched them together to create a large panoramic image, which I printed out onto several pieces of paper and then glued together individually onto some big sheets of foam board. When all of the images were glued together, it was just a matter of arranging the pieces into place. Before posing the wrestlers in the ring, I needed to make one small modification to Roman Reigns. Since I wanted him to be suspended in the air, I drilled a hole into his back, which allowed me to place a stick inside and hold him up using my action figure rig. I then turned on a blue LED light and added a bit of fog to create some atmosphere, and then we were ready to go. I snapped a photo of the action and did some editing to get this shot of Roman Reigns flying through the air, about to deliver a devastating Superman punch to Cody Rhodes. In addition to this shot, I also wanted to set up a shot with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I posed him in the ring and had him performing a Stone Cold Stunner on The Rock while hanging onto a can of beer at the same time. I had a lot of fun working with these figures, and it's made me want to do more wrestling-themed projects in the future. So tell me which wrestlers you'd like to see me work with. Do you prefer modern wrestlers? Do you like the Attitude Era? Or maybe the Golden Era? Leave me a comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.